Hi everyone, welcome to Ask Wardee episode 39. I'm so happy you're with me. Welcome to my live audiences on Facebook and Periscope, and also welcome to those of you checking this out later on iTunes or through the show notes. The show notes are at tradcookschool.com/AW039. That's where you will find a podcast to listen to. You'll also find a video if you'd like to switch to the video version. You'll also find complete show notes and links for everything that we're discussing today. So let's get into it. We have a great question today from JulieAnn, who says, what do I need to know about safely and effectively subbing and using essential oils in cooking? Well, JulieAnn, that's a great question, and I'd love to answer it for you. In a minute here, I'm going to be sharing the 2 ways you can substitute or add essential oils to your cooking. First, though, let's talk about the safety issue of using essential oils. Our family has decided that with moderation and careful choosing of oils and research that certain oils are safe to use in our cooking. Every family needs to make that choice for themselves. I'm not here to convince you of that. I know we have many people in the traditional cooking school audience who are not comfortable with using essential oils in cooking and even pause with internal use. So that's a choice you need to make for yourself. I'm not a doctor or healthcare practitioner. I'm a mom. I'm unapologetically a mom like you, trying to navigate these waters and make good choices for our family. So these are the reasons that we feel that essential oils are safe to use in cooking when we store them and use high quality oils. By the way, my choice is Rocky Mountain oils, and more information is at tradcookschool.com/oils. Here's the thing. Common cooking ingredients can be harmful when eaten or consumed in huge quantities, like salt. Essential oils are no different. They're very potent, but when used moderately, carefully, and with the appropriate ones and appropriate precautions, it's the same. It can be done safely, in my opinion. So yes, I believe it's safe, but again, you all need to make that choice for yourself, and I'm not here to convince you. What I'm here to do is, if you have made the choice to use essential oils in your cooking to have the health benefits, they can be much more frugal and last longer than herbs and spices, to have the wonderful flavors and aromas. If you've made that choice to include it in your cooking, then today's Ask Wardee is to give you 2 simple ways to do that, so you know when you go into your kitchen or using a tried and true recipe, how to sub essential oils to get a great result. So I'm going to cover 2 ways to do that. First, I want to tell you about something, and that is a free resource that's happening very soon in August, and it's an online conference around essential oils. It's completely free. There will be dozens of speakers, including me. In fact, this is a return of an online conference that occurred in 2015 at some point. 165,000 people attended that one. It was such a huge success that the host, Dr. Eric Z., who is a friend of Traditional Cooking School, decided to bring it back. So it's a completely new set of talks. He invited me to be a speaker. I was very honored about that. I wasn't a speaker last time. I am this time. My talk is on this kind of a topic, actually. It's sharing practical tips for using essential oils in your cooking. Anyway, the conference is back, and you can reserve your free spot at tradcookschool.com/EOSummit. And in my talk in particular, which I really hope you'll attend, I have a free gift for you. I'm going to tell you what that free gift is at the end here of today's episode. But I really hope that you'll reserve your seat, at least check out all of the talks, but at least mine, and get a free resource I'm going to tell you about. All right, so let's get into the practical tips on using essential oils in cooking, because there's really 2 ways to use them in your cooking. And I'm talking about if you're making up recipes, but you have a good idea of how many herbs or spices or extracts you'd use, or if you're using a tried and true recipe and it tells you this much of this, this much of this ingredient. So there's 2 ways to do it. The first way, I'm going to break it out by type. Sorry about my voice. The first way is when you're replacing herbs and spices, dried herbs and spices. Now, the essential oils that are essentially the same name as herbs and spices that you have in your cupboard, that's a clue. Those are the oils that most of the time can be used as herbs or spices in your cooking. Clove, sage, marjoram, basil, things like that. Now, the names are the same. That's a big clue. This doesn't mean that all of them can be used in cooking, and I'll have a resource for you at the end that'll spell that out for you, but it is a general rule. And also, as a general rule, if you're going to use oils in your cooking, you want to add them at the end. If it's a hot dish, Add them anytime if it's a raw or cold dish, but if it's a hot dish, add at the end and even when the food has cooled down a bit. This way you'll preserve the aroma. You'll also preserve the health benefits of the essential oils. Now, usage amounts. Well, when you're talking dried herbs and spices that are just most of them, 1 drop of your essential oil is the equivalent of 1 teaspoon of the dried herb or spice. There are bold herbs though, like thyme, oregano, rosemary, and marjoram. They're considered bold. So you don't want to use a whole drop, that would be way too much. Or let's say if the recipe called for a teaspoon, you don't want to use 1 whole drop of the essential oil because that would be too strong. So instead, you dip a toothpick into your jar and then you dip that toothpick into your food. And so whatever has coated the toothpick, it's much less than a drop, is your starting point. Then you would stir and then taste your dish and adjust from there. So that's the usage on herbs and spices. The second way that you can use essential oils in your cooking is as a replacement for extracts. So peppermint, all your citrus extracts like lemon, orange, lime, you can use essential oils instead. Again, there's a clue here. The names are similar. And the volume, the amount that your usage amount that you're going to use is you're going to base it on a teaspoon of extract, but a teaspoon of or let me say it the other way, how I said it for the herbs and spices. So with herbs and spices, it was 1 drop per 1 teaspoon. In the case of extracts, it's a 1/4 teaspoon of oil per 1 teaspoon of extract. And by the way, a 1/4 teaspoon is 25 drops. So you could count out 25 drops. So your extracts are great in like your ice creams and your sorbets and your no-bake cookies, in your cheesecake, in your popsicles, in your sweet muffins and baked goods. Your extracts are fantastic. This is one where it's not, unless it's a raw dish, where it really doesn't matter when you add it, like your baked goods, you can't really add it at the end, so you're just going to add it during the normal stage, and it is what it is. But if you're making like relishes, like a cranberry relish that has cranberry, oranges, apples, you could be using some clove essential oil. You could be adding some orange essential oil. It sounds really yummy, doesn't it? It's making me hungry. All right, so those are the 2 rules. For replacing dried herbs and spices, it's 1 drop for 1 teaspoon, except in the case of bold flavors, you use a coated toothpick for the place of 1 teaspoon dried. And in the place of extracts, you can do a 1/4 teaspoon of oil for 1 teaspoon of extract. 1/4 teaspoon is 25 drops. All right, so to wrap up here, I want to give you some more information to take you further. The first is the resource I already mentioned, is the upcoming Essential Oils online conference. It's free. It's coming up in August. There will be dozens of talks, including my own, to talk more about, give you more practical tips for using essential oils in your cooking. And I really hope you sign up, not just for my talk, but because it's going to be a fabulous resource with dozens of talks. I think maybe only 2 of them are on cooking, which leaves dozens that have to do with health. And, that's a bigger deal than cooking, in my opinion, with essential oils. I mean, essential oils are great in cooking, but they can really change your life, really change your health. Just this week, I sent an email yesterday, and I said yesterday, which would have been the day before, essential oils we used for headaches, migraine, PMS, nausea, cleaning, couple more too. I mean, we just use essential oils all the time, and I feel like we're at the tip of the iceberg. We've barely scratched the barrel. So I am looking forward to the Essential Oil Revolution conference. That link for you to sign up and reserve your free seat is tradcookschool.com/EOSummit. I really hope you'll be joining me there. And the second resource I have for you that I hinted was coming is, get a picture of it up on the screen here, is I've been working on a freebie for traditional cooking school readers, and it's what I'm calling my Cooking with Essential Oils cheat sheet. I've been putting it together for a while. It's a 1-page document that goes through how to store your oils that you use for cooking, the benefits of using oils in cooking, which oils to use, which oils not to use, and then some of the usage rules I just told you today and some ideas for usage. And I put it together in a 1-page document, and I'm giving it as a gift with my talk at the Essential Oil Revolution Summit. online conference. So if you want to get your hands on that cheat sheet early, then what you want to do is attend the EO Summit, tradcookschool.com/EO Summit, and listen to my talk at least. And every talk, how I should say is they organize it by within 24 hours, or every 24 hours they release a set of talks, 5 to 7 usually. And so on my day, you will have 24 hours when my talk is up to go in and get the download link for that cheat sheet. That's the only way you can get it right now, because I'm not releasing it to the public until after this online conference. So if you want it early, it's again a one-page printable download that's a good reference for your cooking with essential oils. Then you want to come to the Essential Oil Revolution online conference. Reserve your seat at tradcookschool.com/EO Summit. Listen into my talk, and I'll give you a link during my talk to grab that cheat sheet. I really hope you take advantage of it. As I've been putting it together, I have been referring to it again and again in our kitchen. So it's very helpful, and I hope you find it helpful as well too. All right, the final thing to tell you is that the show notes are available for you, tradcookschool.com/AW039. Come on by there, and the comments are open, and you can add your own tips or information about cooking with essential oils, things you've learned. If you have some no-nos, or if you have some, this is how I did this and it turned out great, I'd love to hear from you. The show notes also have the audio version, the video of this podcast, and the complete notes and links that I've been talking about today. Thanks for joining me, everyone. God bless you.